Welcome back. You listen to Kayode Tijani, a Nigerian football analyst, football commentator. Give him all you want to give him. He knows football for in this country. Today, let me come to you. He made some strong points.
Not some.
A lot of strong points. Do you agree?
Well, first and foremost, let me say that Kayode Tijani is one of the most respected voices on Nigerian sports, especially Nigerian football. When he was saying he has watched the Super Eagles for as far back as the past 30 years, he wasn't joking. He has one of the most complete archives on Nigerian sports you can find anywhere. And so when this man speaks, you should take it what he's saying with more, with all sense of seriousness. And what he said is particularly true. The last. I'm thinking this is a new dispensation, so I will not hang anything around their neck. But the last set of players who would fail to qualify for the Nations Cup, who also failed woefully at home against Uganda and also failed against South Africa, they were a disgrace to this country. And I think the fact is that we have pampered them for too long. He raised a very salient point: $8,000
for
flight ticket, business class. Let me tell you something. It is not done in the United States of America, in England, in Germany. Quote me. There is a minimum standard. I think if Kobe Bryant joins up with the USA Dream Team, I think he's only entitled to $150 flight ticket. Only $150. Whatever else he wants, if he flies first class, that's his business. The federation only reimburse him $150. If he's also supposed to stay in the team hotel already provided for the team, there's a certain limit or a certain standard of room that is entitled to. If he wants to stay in the first class penthouse suite, that's his business. But they will only reimburse him for that room that he stayed in the team. So I don't understand. This is an organization that keeps saying they are cash strapped. Why do these players have to fly $8,000 business class only for us to come and weep and wail at their shambolic performances? So I think the code of conduct that the NFA introduced just a few months ago, I think it will go a long way in addressing it. I'm not privy to the content, but these kind of things should be included in it. And also, we've seen these players; they've given us more cause for heartache than any reason to rejoice over the past few months. So there should be some massive restructuring. And he raises something: hunger, desire, a willingness to play, pride, patriotism. I mean, when you cross the white line and you hear the national anthem, you must become a different human being. If you are not willing to play, and put your body on the line for your country, then get out.
Let me get you talking. It's the NFF. They will spend close to 100 million naira to get in 15 foreign professionals. It's Coach Stephen Keshi trying to tell us that Warri Wolves, Eimba, Enugu Rangers cannot put together a team that will beat Chad.
Austin, if you look at the team of foreign best players invited, you see some names there that I don't know whether if you put them on the flight to Nigeria, they'll know where Nigeria is.
Question.
That's the truth of the matter. There are names that will just crop up. You don't know. So how much? If the NFF is paying 100 million naira, is it a guarantee that that 100 million will be spent on the players? You know that the NFF have a lot of involvement when it comes to national team assignment. The entire board want to go for that game. They will move the secretariat from Abuja to wherever it's going to, whether it's coming to channels, they'll move it down to the place. So I think that's what the NFF should take care of. Once you are going for a game, how many officials, how many members do you need? You don't have to take the entire board here. Let me tell you, the NFF or this one is NFF of competitions. That's the truth of the matter. So when it comes to 100 million, I don't have any problem. They will get money because it's purely competition. But some other things, I don't think they will have money. Federation Cup up to this moment. Even Austin, Okonakpan, and Sons, they've not got it. So that's what I'm saying. So the truth of the matter is, the players know what's going on. They want to demand for their shares because football has a way of when you sustain injury, that's the end of it. Unless you have something in stock for you somewhere. So talking about home-based players, Keshi called up the home-based player that was called up. He had 26. At the end of the day, we had 8 retained. 2 of those players were not in the initial list of 26 players. I don't know who smuggled those names. Okay, Chukwu Gabriel from what I've seen in Abuja was not in the initial 26-man list. Suddenly showed up in the final list. Also, you did not write permanent 1, you did not write permanent 2, you did not write permanent 3. Suddenly you went to permanent 6, you showed up. Then Yeah, his name, Baito Dikachi. He's not in the initial 26 man list. Unless you are telling us that they invited 28 and they didn't tell us the other 2. So that's the major challenge I have with this whole issue. If you are inviting the home-based players, how many of these home-based players do these coaches know? We have issues with some players. But for these ones, some of them we know. Like Bola and Salami, we know. But how many of these home-based players are these national team selectors watched? Even the foreign-based players, how many of them have we seen play?
Let's talk about the foreign-based players, Antunde, that have already arrived. Onazi is around. Omero, Obuabona.
And the guys that we fed, they don't know Africa.
Yeah, also around.
They don't miss their way.
But Tunde, I'm saying to myself, we're having all of this discussion because it is Chad. Okay. I mean, Chad. When you now bring these foreign professionals, will they see the need to put so much fight into playing Chad?
Look, I think we have to understand that there's a state of emergency in Nigerian football. If a team like the Super Eagles, with all our rich history and our ability in quotes, cannot qualify for 2 out of the last 3 Nations Cups, you know that there is a problem. The minimum requirement for any national team coach at any level, whether under 15, whether under 9, whether Super Eagles should be qualifying for a continental competition, that is a given. Anything beyond that is unacceptable. So if you understand that this team has not qualified for 2 of the last 3 Nations Cups, you understand that there is trouble. And that is why Keshi is looking for every kind of weapon he can find, shotguns, axes, howitzers, from all across the world. And the truth, and I think Kyle Tijani raised a very valiant point, a very salient point. We do not have quality players. That is the truth.
Was trying to mention top 4 leagues in Europe.
And that is true. At the point in time,
maybe we can just maybe we can help Nigerians. Maybe that's in a Chejile who plays for AS Monaco.
How many times has that in a Chejile play for Monaco?
At least let's be fair to just one of them.
But the truth about it is this: these players, it has now come to a stage where Keshi is desperate to build a team. He's now looking for players anywhere in the world. Then you also have to cut him some slack. If he didn't call these home-based players, you can be sure that the media will be the first people.
Why are you using home-based players? People that can't beat.
Don't you know that we're in a desperate position? Why can't you bring players? And if that backfires, you and I will be the first person putting his neck on the chopping block. So let him. Keshi is the one that is being paid to make these decisions. Let him do it. If he gets the results, fine. If he doesn't, then we know what to do. But calling the likes of Anderson City, William Trustekong, and who else has he called, all these other unnamed players, the fact is this: we do not have players of the requisite quality that we used to have in the past. And wherever we can find players who are willing to play for Nigeria without holding us to ransom and who can bring quality, then I'd be more than happy to have them play.
I don't have a problem with inviting players. Not inviting players who play somewhere, you play football in the morning and watch plays in the evening. I don't understand, because there are some names there. If you ask an average Nigerian journalist, when last did you write a story about a particular player?
Exactly.
There's a particular name, I don't mention it, so that they won't drop that player from this team. When last did you write a story about this particular player?
They can't drop him already. He's already been divided.
No, yeah, of course. So that's why I say, when last did you write a story? So when we hear players and we never know, see, it come to a point where we have to. At one point, even in Nigeria, in those days, we see it's one of the, of course, complete football. You see a top 20. When you get so excited, but these days, sometimes you don't know some players. Suddenly, when they release the team list for a qualifier, you see some
your research on who is
this one.
I would like to. I've been doing a tremendous amount of research
because
over the past
for me, I would have pardoned if you see Johnny Gallo, then you say for consistency, let's watch him some more. Yeah. If you see maybe even Alex Iwobi, that they've been making so much noise for the future.
How many games of Iwobi have you watched?
I'm just saying.
No, I'm not talking on Twitter, the one on Twitter. How many games have you watched?
I'm just saying for the future, if you get those kind of players, because even there Samuel that is playing in China,
you don't know,
he's not been so consistent about 2 goals in 9 games.
It's not enough for Nigeria to go running Eka Sketa like a woman who just lost a baby to ask for this player to play for us. It is the willingness of this player to play for us. Not we going to them and begging them. Some of them, they can't even play in their the first team. Some of them play in the reserve team. Some of them play in the under 20 team. If they are good enough, they play for those countries. Some of the best players we have chased over the years, and they are good enough to play for those countries, to eventually play for those countries. The one that will come to Nigeria, Shola Amebu came to Nigeria when he sees his twilight of his career.
Issues coming out of Nigerian football. We're trying to analyze Coach Stephen Keshi's team that will take on Chad in the Nations Cup qualifiers. The guys in the studio, they are supporting Kayode Tijani. They say we can do the business with the home-based players, but Coach Stephen Keshi knows best. So let's switch the super.